Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for the good turnout, too. How many have had Hint prior to today? Great. Great to hear. So we're just available in the U.S. today, but going outside the U.S. very, very soon. Today I'm going to talk a bit about just how I grew this brand and also just why we're doing this more than anything. But first I want to show you a video that actually came from a customer who contacted me, I guess it was a little over 5 years ago now, and I'll just run the video and then we can talk more about it afterwards. You guys see? Can you turn it up?
I need to stay hydrated when I'm on tour. We carry hand water around on the tour bus. We carry it in our little, carrying cases. Make sure we have enough. As a singer, our voice is our instrument. So much of your vocal health is determined by your overall health. It's so important for me to be healthy and to be hydrated. I drink hint water a lot, actually. Yeah, I keep it right there next to the piano. Yeah, it's right there every night. I drink at least one on stage when I'm out there performing. I try not to drink sugary drinks because I want to stay in shape. Sugary drinks really don't add that much value to your lives and they make you fatter, so I'm like, what's the point? I want something that is healthy and makes me feel good and continue to try to look good as well. So Hint is perfect for me. Why Hint? It's really great tasting, it's really healthy, so why not drink it?
So I love that video, mostly because when John reached out to us, he found our product, and he was really, like me, trying to avoid not just sugar, but also sweeteners. And he was, 5 years ago, really starting. He had been in many people's homes with his music, but really was trying to break out. And he said, look, what I'm doing is really, really difficult, and I need to drink water along the way, and you're helping me to drink water, which is helping me to get healthier. And John is not an endorsement deal, which a lot of people are like, wow, like the number of times that people see him out walking around or on stage, it's really, it's awesome, and he's such a great individual, and we're thankful to have him as part of our team. But just a little bit about my story. So, as Lauren mentioned, I was at AOL most recently before coming to Hint and starting Hint, and ran their e-commerce initiative at AOL from '94 to 2001, a long time ago, and turned that company, turned that division into $1 billion in revenue to AOL. And as I was leaving AOL, I found myself starting my family. I was 45 pounds overweight. I had terrible acne, and I wanted to go to bed at 3 o'clock every day. And basically started going to a bunch of different doctors and said, I'm doing everything right. I'm drinking diet soda. I'm working out half an hour to 45 minutes every day and eating chicken and living the life, and nothing's happening. And so all these doctors that I went to said, we're more than willing to give you hormone injections, all kinds of other chemicals to put into my body to sort of fix me. And prior to doing that, I decided I'm going to take what I've been doing inside my kitchen and actually start to get smart and educated about what I'm putting into my body. So the first thing that really had the most frequency, as I like to say from my media days, was Diet Coke. And I threw the Diet Coke in the garbage and promised myself that for a month I was going to live this way, and started drinking plain water. And 3 weeks into throwing out the Diet Coke, I lost 27 pounds. Amazing. And I went back to a couple of the doctors and I said, listen, I never took any of the medications that you prescribed, and instead I fixed myself by just getting smart about what I was putting into my body. And they didn't really want to hear from me anymore because that's not really the business that they're in. And it was more than that. I mean, it was really also looking at the sweeteners that I had been putting in my body. So at that point, this was almost 10 years ago, it was NutraSweet, it was aspartame. And today I view the world as, it's not just about sugar, it's really about sweet and limiting sweet. And we have ended up to be in a society where everything that we put in our body is sweetened with something. And we've gotten addicted to this crazy world of sweeteners. And so as I threw out all of the junk and particularly the soda in my kitchen, I started to really realize how I had been fooled and felt pretty ashamed by what I had experienced around these simple words like diet soda and low fat and vitamin water and things that I really thought were like healthy but were really healthy perception versus healthy reality. And I decided I wasn't really a water drinker. I had never really been a water drinker, even though after moving from Minnesota, I moved to Arizona where I should have been a water drinker, but I just never enjoyed water. And I started throwing fruit in the water. And I thought, this gets me to drink more water. And on a parallel path, I realized that 3 months into living this way, I had dropped 47 pounds, which was crazy. And I realized that like all of the things that I really thought were helping me to get healthier were not really doing that at all. So I live up in San Francisco. I took this thing that I had made in my kitchen, which was basically in a cig bottle, and I threw some lemon into water, and I took it to Whole Foods and I said, so this is what I want. I want this product. I don't want stuff like vitamin water with sweeteners in it, and I don't want diet soda because I don't want to go back to that path. I've already kicked that habit. And I learned that there was nothing like this on the market, and that everything that was calling itself flavored water had a sweetener in it. And I thought, that's crazy. Like, how do these companies get trademarks? After all, I had grown up in sort of the media and tech business, and I realized like trademarks aren't that easy to come by, and yet something as descriptive as flavored water or vitamin water or whatever are really getting these crazy trademarks that it really aren't helping people to get healthy. So basically, I said to the guy at Whole Foods, what if I create this product for you and bring it in, and will you sell it on the shelf? And he said, sure, bring me 10 cases. And I don't think he ever thought that I was actually going to come back with these 10 cases. And I did, and he put them on the shelf. I created I took a bunch of fruit and put it on the stove and created a few fires along the way, but boiled down the fruit and took a couple of drops and put it in the bottle, and I took it to Whole Foods. I got the Hint trademark and basically bottled the product, took it to Whole Foods, and actually in between had my 4th child. And while I'm in the hospital delivering my 4th child, I get a call from Whole Foods saying all 10 cases are gone. And my reaction was, well, like, who took them? And I still didn't believe it. And so so at that point, I realized that it had actually been sold, and I went home and started to create more in the kitchen. And probably a few months into realizing that this product was something that was really in need in the marketplace and was helping people to actually get healthier, I decided I'm not even sure that I really want to do this. Like I've never been in the soda industry. I've never dreamt of like running a beverage company. It's not what I wanted to do. I thought I was, I'm in Silicon Valley. I thought I wanted to be in tech and do that whole thing. And basically I decided, a friend introduced me to somebody at Coke, and I called Coke and I said, hey, listen, I've got this great product. It's already in Whole Foods, it's selling, and you can just have it. You can have the company. And it's really about helping people to get healthier. It's about helping them drink water. And across the line, the gentleman said to me, honey, Americans love sweet. And I talk about it because it was probably the statement that actually encouraged me most to go and actually launch the company. I really felt like, something that, as crazy as that was, like the guy's calling me honey, first of all, and then he's, telling me that Americans love sweet, I really started to realize that the soda companies really didn't have my back. They really didn't care about getting me healthier. And what we were doing was really, truly helping people to get healthier. So probably the next major piece of business was Google reached out to us and said, look, we're looking at getting our employees healthier. We believe that if we provide products for employees that are truly healthy, that sick days could go down, who knows, we might be able to get better health insurance premiums and all that kind of stuff. And so they started loading our product in versus Coke and Pepsi. Today, really with the start of Google, what I've learned, and I'm still surprised by it, is that Hint is actually the #1 beverage in Silicon Valley in businesses. And we have become part of corporate wellness networks. Thanks. And so it's been super exciting. And with that, the number of emails that I get from consumers from all of the major tech firms as well as small startups are incredible. And what I've learned along the way over the past 10 years is that consumers' definition of health is very, very different from individual to individual. So my definition of health was I wanted to drink more water, I knew I wanted to drink more water, and I wanted to lose some weight, and I wanted to get rid of my acne. There's a lot of people who are drinking our product who are telling us that type 2 diabetes, which frankly has crept up in the last 10 years, is a major epidemic. It affects 1 in 3 people today. There's a misunderstanding in the marketplace that it's tied to obesity, when actually over 40% of people who are getting diagnosed with type 2 diabetes today are not fat at all. So part of what Hint has done is really created a platform to allow people through our website to actually talk one-on-one with each other about their health issues. So while we're actually producing what I think is a great tasting product and what a lot of consumers have said is a great tasting product, we're allowing consumers to really talk with others about how Hint is helping them, or if they don't want to drink Hint, plain water is helping them. The other one that is really powerful for me is cancer patients. So gone are the days when cancer patients are going to bed when they're diagnosed with cancer. Chemotherapy is something that is not a fun experience, I understand, to go through, but you get a metallic taste in your mouth and you're told to drink more and more water. And Hint has sort of bubbled up as this product that actually helps people to mask the metallic taste that you get when you're going through chemo. So we have a ton of cancer patients who are saying to us, not only did we love your product while we were going through chemo, but also, that it's helping them to potentially what they feel is stopping them from actually getting the cancer back by eliminating the sweeteners in their body. So I'm getting cut short, you guys. But anyway, that is it. And I'm here if you guys have any questions. And
you can take 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hey.
My name is Jan. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks.
I just want to ask you, because you mentioned that you went from your kitchen to to everywhere, basically. How was the process? How did you find a contract manufacturer, or how are you actually doing it now? From the kitchen to everywhere.
I think the biggest asset for us as a company was not actually knowing and being able to go out to co-packers, they're called, and I used to call them bottlers, and I didn't know the language. I didn't understand sort of what it was, but basically being able to go out to co-packers and really say, I don't know. I haven't worked at Coke and Pepsi. I haven't worked at Kraft. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I really want to help people to get healthier. And so we've broken so many rules in doing this product. Probably the biggest one when we developed this product was we were told that you can't actually get a product with any shelf life unless you add preservatives. And the core things that I didn't want to do was add preservatives to the product because we use real fruit, real skins and oils of fruit. So we pasteurize the product, which is basically heating. And everybody said, you cannot do that because you'll destroy the fruit and you won't have the flavor of the fruit. And we were like, why? Why is that? And can't you play with the temperatures just like you would, in a kitchen and play with it? And they're like, well, I don't know. Maybe you can. And so it's interesting. The people that have worked for us who have come from large packaged goods and soda companies, it actually hasn't worked because they've been trained to think a certain way. And we hire really smart people who are ready to roll up their sleeves and really believe in the mission that we have to help people drink water. and go from there and learn along the way. And I think that's been the biggest point of our success.
Final question back.
Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story.
Oh, sorry. You know what? He
Can
just
you
called
hear
me.
me?
Yes, but I will.
Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story. I have a question. We're going through a company rebranding right now in terms of our name and our brand, really. So I wanted to ask you, do you have any tips on choosing a company brand?
So we got a bunch of friends in the room. We didn't use a branding agency, and we forced them to listen to me. And I mean, honestly, and said, you know, and said, what do you hear when I'm talking? And I kept saying, it's a hint of flavor. And then, you know, my husband, who is our chief operating officer, was an intellectual property attorney at Google and knows a little bit about patents, and said, good luck. You're never going to get the word hint. And I said, just try. Like, go and try. You'll never get the trademark for drink water, not sugar. And we got it. And so you know, I think it's, if you really believe that it's a name that really is simple and you know, means something to the brand, I think you should go for it. I'm a big believer that, you know, we as a society have been told, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't, and sometimes you can, right? Because if you just go and you just go do it, that you'll never know, right? But a lot of people don't do it because they believe that there's rules out there that they have to listen to.
Okay, we'll take one in the front. Who's it going to
Sorry.
be?
Yeah.
Who would you like to take?
So I like the feel of the bottle, like it's a solid and it's like not like these bottles. So
Yeah.
like how do you decide the bottle, who designed it initially? Like
So it's actually
probably more expensive. Probably more expensive.
no, it's interesting. So this is a bottle that we've had for almost the last 7 years, and really talking to customers again. They wanted a bottle that felt good, and so we played with that too. We didn't use any, you know, surveys or design groups or anything. I mean, we really got a bunch of friends together, and also my kids. I mean, my kids are my biggest advocates, but also you know, they'll poke holes in everything that we do, and they'll look at everything along the way, including the bottle. But actually, what you'll see in the marketplace in the next couple of weeks, we just designed a new bottle that looks really similar to this, but it's super interesting from a technology standpoint, because it actually has 30% less plastic, yet the feeling of the bottle is no different, which is fascinating. And so I give full credit to our chief operating officer, my husband, for that, because he's been geeking out on it for like years to be able to create a plastic bottle. So, you know, while we're creating a water company and a beverage company, the amount of things that we do to actually, you know, make the world a better place, try to take a lot of the plastic out, but also, you know, create a great product and help people from a social standpoint is super important to us.